toward justice, toward cohesion, and toward a future shaped not by the chains of history, but by the power of solidarity. Madam President, there is a phrase that I hold dear. Peace is not the absence of noise. Peace is the presence of safety. For those of us in the Caribbean, peace is a practical prerequisite for prosperity. Our zone of peace must be more than a slogan pasted on policy papers. It must be defended by concrete measures, better public health frameworks, stronger interdiction of illicit weapons, greater cooperation on maritime security, investment in community safety and youth empowerment programs, and international support for capacity building in policing and justice systems. We recognize the serious threats posed by drug trafficking and other transnational crimes. These scourges must be addressed through cooperation, dialogue, respect for sovereignty, and the full respect for the principles of international law. Therefore, we continue to call for measures that encourage peace, stability, and mutual respect. These are the only foundations on which lasting security and sustainable development can be built and maintained in our hemisphere. Historically, in our region, disputes have been resolved through dialogue. As such, we encourage dialogue between our two dear friends, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and the United States of America, to ensure that our region remains a zone of peace. We are not asking for pity or imposition. We are asking, therefore, for partnership, for tools to block the flow of guns and the flow of funds that fuel violence, for initiatives that create opportunities so that young men and women find purpose in productive work rather than perilous pursuits. Partnership, not pity. Prevention, not punishment. And yet, Madam President, partnership alone may not be enough. The time has come to reshape the United Nations itself, to reform its structures so that they reflect the realities of our modern world. The Security Council, the very body charged with maintaining international peace and security, cannot be credible if it excludes representation from the regions most vulnerable to the threats of our time: Africa, Latin America, and small island developing states such as those in the Caribbean. To secure a world of peace, those who suffer the sharpest edges of insecurity must have a seat at the table where peace is forged. Across the globe, conflict continues to wreak havoc. In Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Yemen, and each theater of violence is a theater of human cost. Children displaced, parents bereft, infrastructure destroyed. The pathway to peace is hard and long, but there is no ethical alternative to persistent and constructive diplomacy, to humanitarian corridors that put people above politics, and the courage and will of leaders to commit to a world rooted in peace, justice, and compassion. St. Kitts and Nevis therefore calls for an end to the anguish caused by the horrific genocide that is unfolding in Gaza. We categorically condemn this affront to humanity, for which there must be accountability. We urge for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire for the protection of civilians, of children, of women, of the vulnerable, of the weak. And we also call for the release of hostages and for the restoration of basic necessities and humanitarian access. International law, conscience, and human decency demand no less. Further, the path to lasting peace between the State of Israel and the state, yes, the State of Palestine, one that guarantees human rights, dignity, and security for all, lies in the implementation of a two-state solution. Madam President, distinguished delegates, our region remains incomplete while Haiti suffers. Haiti's struggle is our shame if we do not respond with resolve. The people of Haiti carry within them an extraordinary history of emancipation and courage. Yet that history has been marred by instability, natural disasters, and foreign interventions that have too often deepened dependency and deprivation rather than delivered dignity. St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean community welcome the commitments of partner states, notably the Kenya-led multinational security support mission and the backing of the OAS and other regional actors to help restore security and to assist in rebuilding Haitian institutions. But security is only the first step. We must invest in Haiti's health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, and governance. We must help rebuild markets so that merchants trade rather than flee. We must help rebuild schools so that children learn rather than languish. We must help rebuild hospitals so that mothers are treated rather than traumatized. Haiti must be allowed to write and lead its own restoration story, and the international community must be a steadfast partner, not a script writer. Madam President, the economic, commercial, and financial embargo against Cuba is a relic that continues to wound an entire people